Hello, everyone. My name is Vincent Valdez, and I help people grow through faith, fasting, and fitness. And today I'm going to be talking about fasting and faith, um, and how fasting really exposes what you have your faith in or how strong your faith is. And the reason why I say that is because when you fast, whatever you want to go to most is what you've been relying on, is what you've been finding comfort in when it comes to, let's say, problems that come up or certain emotions. What are you going to most of the time? For me, it was food, alcohol, my phone, everything other than God. And when you fast, you're put into these emotions, you're put into uncomfortable feelings because you want your cravings met or you want your desires met. And it doesn't take long for you to start to see what you're going to when you get these strong emotions. And so I'm going to go over exactly how to overcome the emotions, but also just being aware of you going towards everything else except God for comfort or for reliance. And when I first started fasting, I had an experience that I was ready to put all of my trust and reliance on God. And so when I first started fasting, it wasn't really hard for me to let go of a lot of things that I was attached to at the time. But if you're coming from a different place where you're still attached to things that you want to let go of, fasting is a good way of removing those things. And it's a good way of exposing, what you're going to. If you feel like I don't really have attachments, I don't really go to things, fasting will expose that. So in the moment, whenever you're feeling these emotions or desires of going towards anything else but God, what I do is I just say, I'm going to fast today. And let's say I have a craving for food or something that's coming up, right? A desire. And I just say, I'm going to fast today. So I'm making that commitment and saying it out loud and I'm making it known. And then I say, God, give me the self-control to fast today. And what this does is I'm putting my attention away from maybe my desire or what I want to do and towards my, and putting my focus towards God. And he's really the one that's going to give you the strength to get through this moment or this moment of desire that you're in. And that's really all it is. It's a short amount of time where you're craving or you're not feeling perfectly to, and as you do this more, the more you're going to have the habit of going to God. So it doesn't have to necessarily be with food, but it's a process that teaches you that anytime you go through something, you put your focus and your attention on God. And it's just a small prayer. Like I've already committed to this. God knows I'm committing to this, right? I've said it. Please give me the self-control to get through this. And he's the one that's going to supply you with the ability to get through that struggle. So fasting is a form of self-inflicted adversity. So that whenever you come across things in life that are problems that you didn't self-inflict, you've already trained yourself to go to God and lean on God. That's what I love fasting so much for, is because if we can self-inflict this type of adversity on ourselves and make it difficult and still get through when we know how to get out of it, like I could just go to the pantry or I can go to my refrigerator and get out of the fast. But if I'm continuing to put myself in that situation, it's even harder because I have the option to get away from it, to seek comfort elsewhere, right? But I'm choosing to remain in the fast so that way I can teach myself and train myself to lean on God. So when these situations in life that come naturally, not from my own doing, I already have the skill of going to God and asking Him for the strength or whatever is needed in that moment to get me through. So that's pretty simple, right? It's just a prayer, committing to I'm not going to go the easy way, right? Because there always is an easier way in the moment, but then afterwards, there's going to be the regret or the guilt of taking the easy road. If you've ever committed to something and then broke that commitment to yourself, there's pain and there's consequences to deal with after that. But if you stuck with this commitment and you go through these desires and the slight pain of wanting something but not being able to have it, there's going to be comfort and satisfaction and fulfillment down the road for you. So it just depends on what you're willing to sacrifice, right? Are you willing to sacrifice the pain in the moment so that way you can receive something better down the road? Or are you sacrificing what you're going to experience down the road so that way you don't have to experience the pain in the moment? I think all of us would want to commit ourselves to the delayed gratification. And that's the other thing it exposes me to as well, as like, or that it reveals to me, is I'm like a baby, right? Anytime a baby wants comfort, they cry and they go for the pacifier or for the bottle. They're seeking some type of comfort in this pacifier, right? Am I a child? Am I a baby still? Because I'm seeking this comfort and wanting to use these things as a pacifier, like food or my phone or alcohol, or I'm using all of these external things to comfort me, just like a baby would with the pacifier. And that's what it revealed to me, is like, here I am in this desire and I can't even get through it without using some type of pacifier. So I just thought I would bring that up. Not that I was going to make this crazy point about it, but it just exposed to me the type of like the way I was acting. That's how I can relate it, to how I was giving into all of these, desires, so that way I can be comforted. And as a result, it turned me into a person that lacked integrity, lacked commitment and dedication, and things that could provide my life value, but also people around me value. And it's not for the results that fasting are going to give me. It's never for the results of what the gym is going to give me. It's never the results of what reading every day is going to give me. It's more so who I'm becoming in the process, who I am, who it says that I am. I'm somebody that doesn't need to always have his needs met. I'm somebody that, regardless of my circumstances, I'm going to remain committed. And fasting is a way to build that foundation, right? It just is a constant reminder of you needing to lean on God. And I've been able to use the skills that I've built through fasting in other areas of my life when regular things come up, that I don't need to go to alcohol. I don't need to go to food. I don't need to go to my phone. I can remain in that pain and seek God for comfort. I don't need to be comforted by other things to try to get myself out of this uncomfortable feeling. It's okay, right? It's okay for us to suffer for a little bit, for a while. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to think of other points that I need to speak of. So to end this is use fasting as a tool and allow it to expose what you're using for comfort, and then eliminate those, remove those, and be okay with being uncomfortable, with being in that pain of fasting. And say a prayer. Ask God for the self-control. Ask God for what is needed in that moment to endure. And then use that self-inflicted adversity to train yourself to, in every area when you're dealing with problems, say a prayer. Ask God for the strength to endure. That's it.